It's great to see so many faces here today, so welcome everyone. I'm Evan Lewis. I'm the current president of the Vic No-Till Group, and I'll be your MC for the day. I just want to make a quick mention of where I think the group's at the moment, from my point of view, and after travelling to the crop walks, the field days and the workshop this year, I think it's fair to say that no-till is now widely accepted as a mainstream cropping system. We all know that minimum soil disturbance tackles the soil and wind erosion issues, and it conserves moisture and allows us to get our crops in early. With good management, whether it's through the harvester setup or spraying summer weeds or our seeder setup, we can confidently deal with crop stubbles so they're not an issue with the following year's sowing program. And with technology and the help of technology, we can control traffic and where it goes on our paddocks, so we're tackling compaction. And I could go on, but I think the underlying objective here is to improve soil health on our farms and importantly improve the bottom line in the process. And I think with the help of the group we're all coming a little bit more confident in its ability to make it work. I take my hat off to the Vic No-Till Group in its ability to build a number of strategic resources since its inception 9 years ago. I'm comfortable to say that we have a membership base that rivals any other cropping group around the state. We have a network. We have a capacity to network with other similar organisations around the country through alliances, through our Cairns Alliance and soon to be the Victorian Grower Group Alliance. And we've got senior figures in the group who are reaping the rewards of up to 20 years' work in no-till practices. And they've done the hard yards and they've proven the science. We have a committee that boasts an average age of about 40, and I think it's pretty important to make this point because given the government's about to undertake an inquiry responding to concerns of an ageing farmer workforce, we're sitting pretty. And we've got a committee that strikes a balance between farmers, agronomists and industry representatives, giving us accountability and helping us to remain relevant, and we aren't top heavy. So money's focused on projects servicing everyone's needs, especially our members. And I think what hasn't changed through this whole journey is the group's ability to exchange information on a farmer-to-farmer basis, and that was one of the reasons I joined up a number of years ago. So therefore, as President, it is with great pleasure that on behalf of the committee I welcome you all to the 9th Annual Victorian No-Till Farmers Association Conference. As volunteers, we appreciate the level of effort you as members put in to participate in these events, and it's not easy. I know there's spreading and spraying and things to do, and everyone taking the time out, we appreciate it. And the conference and the crop walks are areas that we devote a lot of our resources. I would also like to acknowledge the sponsors, because their contributions, without their contributions we certainly wouldn't be here. And especially Rural Finance today, they're helping us put the day on and they're our major sponsor. So thanks to you. So get around the trade displays and have a chat to them later, and the trade displays are next door where you'll get a coffee. That's all I wanted to say, but I'd like to welcome the Minister now. He's the Deputy Leader of the Nationals, and he's the Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, and he's born and raised just up the road at Boort. So we're very lucky to have him here today. So to officially launch the conference and open proceedings, I would like to welcome the Victorian Minister for Agriculture, the Honourable Mr Peter Walsh.
We wrecked it, I think, mate. Look, thank you very much, Evan, and thank you for the introduction. There's a bit of a joke going around how many Peter Walshes there are. If the other Peter Walsh is in the room, you're very lucky, mate, you didn't lose your room last night, because when I checked in, they had 2 bookings and they thought they had a duplication. I was nearly going to say, just cancel that room, but you're lucky I didn't do that. Because it did happen at a recent National Party conference. There's another Peter Walsh who used to work for John Anderson and then works for National Foods. And he was at a conference I was at, and I checked in again, and there was 2 bookings. I thought, oh, my office has messed this up, and I cancelled the other room, and he missed out and had to go way down the road to get a room the next night. So you're very lucky, Peter. And can I also acknowledge the sponsors, and particularly Rural Finance, because these sorts of events just do not happen without sponsors, and it's great to see so many people supporting the no-till organisation. For those that are a bit sort of my vintage, you would remember a guy called Gun Jones who used to work for DPI in Kerrang. And Gun Jones used to write a column in the local newspapers called Gunshots. And one of these columns that I can remember that sticks in my mind, he talked about the issue of therapeutic ploughing. He was asking the rhetorical question, why do people actually go out and plough a paddock? And his theory in that particular article was that they'd been sitting around for a while, they were probably getting the rounds of the kitchen table as to the jobs they should be doing in the garden or the jobs they should be doing somewhere else, so they go out and plough a paddock to get away from those particular issues and sit out there and just get away from the world. Well, fortunately, the world has moved on from that, and part of that is to the direct result of this particular organisation and the fact that people have recognised the benefits of no-till over time. What I was interested to read is the growth in membership of the Victorian No-Till Farmers Association, something like between 10 and 20% growth each year in membership for the last 5 years. I'm sure there's a lot of other membership-based organisations would love to be able to claim that sort of growth in their membership.